Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for a little bit more Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. Now, I've learned some interesting facts. We've played this game, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. Turns out there was a sequel to this game called Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Turns out that that game was reviewed very badly, and it's not included in the Tomb Raider bundle. Now, I don't know if that's because the bundle was made before this game came out in 2014 and they just never got around or figured out how to change it, or if it's just because it's badly rated and they are trying to kind of push it under the rug. What is even more interesting there is that now in 2015 they've come out with Lara Croft Go, which is a Lara Croft version in style at least of Hitman Go, a cell phone game. Now I just read a review for Lara Croft Go and they said there weren't multiple solutions. At least in this game there were multiple solutions for almost all the puzzles, and that it was only going to be a handful of hours. Now, we've done a little bit more than a handful of hours, but I wouldn't say legitimately I have spent more than maybe 15, maybe 20 hours, and that includes getting everything unlocked now. I played a lot offline because after I finished and we looked at all the challenge packs, that's what I said I was going to do. I was either going to play offline or I was going to give up. And I figured out how to unlock everything. There was definitely some difficult stuff. Speed runs, turns out there is a roll mechanic that was never told in the tutorial. So when we go over here to the controls and we look at configuration, and then down here the button configuration, crouch roll, press the X button or hit the right mouse. Well, I was playing with the controller, so X button. Never used it once in the entire game. Apparently you didn't really need it. Grapple shield. I never used that either. Do I have a shield? We'll see. We'll see if I even have that. And let's see, raise shield is left bump. If I had a shield, I never used it. Inventory is back, pause to start, walk is C, weapons up, down, speak is E, and talk is T. Neither one of those are even in the game, so that'll be interesting to try some of that. That seems almost like it would be just in maybe co-op. So throughout the process we got a new outfit, and I've determined that the best way to look for these outfits, which I think we should do right now before we start the Kane and Lynch run, which is what we're doing. We're gonna go do Kane and Lynch through the entire game. We're gonna kind of speed run it and all of that. We've got this doppelganger outfit, and the best one I think you can do is go to the thumbnail to see the outfits. Doppelganger, I think, is from a previous game. She wears this kind of swim scuba suit with pants over it. It's very high on her hips. I also have an incredibly amount of powerful weapons, which has helped quite a bit. So this here is the Spear of Light, and it just goes through people and will hit the enemies behind them, and it will kill even skeletons that you have to usually blow up. The Spear of Darkness will stick in people and explode. The Golden Shotgun does a lot of damage for not a lot of firepower, and it is the right choice. all the other weapons aren't as well as useful now. Like the rocket launcher is nowhere as good as the Spear of Light. The railgun I got like as my last weapon, and it's not really that good either. It is apparently slightly better than the rocket launcher. Never used the dual SMGs. I use the heavy grenade launcher. Grenade launchers still on occasion come in handy. Never use the submachine gun. Never use the high-powered thing. Barely use the flamethrower. Never use the automatic pistols. Or the hand cannons were kind of useful because of the rate I got them. Uh, the way you get weapons just by getting a high score in each level, turns out that it really just gives you weapons in a random order. Like the AR-06 was one of the later weapons I got here because getting 60 points on this specific level is hard. Now let's look at the artifacts. You mostly get the artifacts in the order that they're listed here. If you get lucky, and you'll get something that will do a plus without doing a minus, or you'll get something that starts to do 2 pluses. Once you start getting up to the drum levels, you get 2 pluses, and then when you get up to the serpent levels, you get 3 pluses, which is fine. And then eventually, if you're lucky, you just want to get the Jade Hearts. So if you didn't collect anything at all, get the 2 Jade Hearts, because they're pluses on everything. Plus weapon, plus defense, plus bomb, plus speed. And get 2 of them, you have +1 for both. As for your relic, the relics, remember, are only activated when you have a full meter. As you go down, you will start seeing some +2s on the relics, and then you get over to +3s where you get special abilities, and even a row here of +4s where a couple of them. But once you get the Mask of Zolti, which is at the very bottom, you get plus everything. So once you have that, you know exactly what you have. No real trade-offs now. It's just you want 2 Jade Hearts and the Mask of Zolti, and that's it. You want the Arrow of Fire, the Spear of Fire, Spear of Light is what it's called. No. And then the Golden Shotgun. Those are your real 2 choices. Maybe you need a rocket launcher there. So I was able to get all of the speed things done real easily once I figured out you can roll, because it is incredibly faster. Now, the grapple is the right bump, so we have been using that, but I'm hitting the left bump for the shield. That is not a control. What happens when I hit E? Nothing. What happens when I hit T? Nothing. So if those were supposed to be doing something, they certainly aren't in single player mode. Alright. So we're just gonna go through this level so you can see the cutscene. It's the best cutscene you can see the outfits in. It is a real shame that this game never just lets you look at the outfits because they put such focus on them. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they put such focus on them, but come on. What is going on here? This thing does not want me to aim at him. Something's wrong with my controller. I cannot hit this guy. Let's see. Come on. What is going on here? Well, let's see, what can I do? I'm having to manipulate this in some strange way. Did I invert the control? Feels almost inverted. Yeah, I think I inverted the control. Ah. There we go. Oh, the Spear of Light also bounces off walls. Now this is, notice her hair is red in this.
Turtek.
So I don't think it was actually Lara
Zolot
Croft.
has almost reached his stronghold.
I think Doppelganger.
We will never defeat him once he is within its
her hair.
walls.
Then we'll have to stop him before he gets there.
So it's
if I head through the
again
Western Temple,
another
I may be able
outfit
to
with
cut him
skin
off.
tight pants.
I will follow him to the
skin
north.
tight
Be
shirt
wary.
and
Zolot
high
is known
hips.
to lay traps for
I
his
mean, they
enemies.
are certainly trying for every sexualized angle they can get there. Nope, nope, did not mean to do that. So let's go back to the options and controls and invert the x-axis. I don't think so. So we've mostly looked at the other outfits, and they're nothing that's really worth looking at there. I was also on the challenge pack able. Come on. There we go. I was able to do the lava chompy after multiple attempts. There is a score. It's way too long. So I just wanted to point that out and show I'm not a complete failure. Oh, speaking of complete failure though, this game crashed a lot when I was playing offline. I have no idea why. It never crashed once while I was recording. So I went through the entire game, but once I started dying a lot and it had to reload, something went wrong with it every now and then, so it would just crash. And that is a consideration. The sequel to this game, by the way, is a 4-player co-op potential game, but you would never find any 3 other people willing to play it with you, so that's kind of a problem in itself. So now we're gonna start Kane and Lynch, and what we're gonna do is just speedrun this through. So I'm not gonna get or replicate any steps to unlock anything or do any of the secrets. There was definitely a couple places I might point out just for some artifacts that I missed out on, but mostly we're just looking for the cutscene, and we're going to, if all goes as long as I think, we're going to go to the summoning, this recording, then we will go from that to the Jaws of Death, from Forgotten Gate to Jaws of Death in the second recording, and then I think we will do from Twisted Bridge all the way to Zulti Stronghold and just kind of skip. We're not going to skip anything, but just combine the last two, because I think that might be how it works. And if it isn't how it works, we'll then stop at Belly of the Beast. So we're going to go to each boss fight. It will be pretty quick because I'm just going to be running. These are effectively speed runs I'm going to be doing, and I will be using the weapons that I have at my availability, which means it will be really easy fights too. A lot of boss fights you can just hit with the golden shotgun or the spear of light, and a few hits of that will kill them.
Take care, Totek. The mirror has been returned to its secret place, and Zolot to his eternal prison. When I'm gone, this place will be lost again. But for how long?
I may laugh a lot on this one too. This is kind of a funny.
Where the hell are we? Hell is this? Well, I'll be damned! Hey!
A new day is dawned, and soon, night will fall on this world for the last time.
That old took it. Lynch? What was that? What the was that? I don't believe it! There has to be a way out.
Why don't you try the door?
How? The door's locked!
Okay, so we have the same weapons and everything. It's pretty easy. I don't think... Okay, this is not gonna work. We gotta get this controller scheme to work right first. Configuration. Invert. Y. No. What has gone here? Right stick, gamepad access, right stick Y, right stick Y, right stick X, right stick X, right stick Y. No default setup here. Alright, that's not gonna work. This is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. Now it just turned itself off. Alright. And it turned itself off again. Right stick X, right stick Y. That should be right. Ah, here, restore defaults. There we go. There we go. Nice and smooth. Now, this still won't blow this up. This still won't blow this up. And the railgun still won't blow it up. So, short of the grenade launcher, that's the only option.
Sure you know where we are?
Is your landmines. So sorry that took so long. Did the guy just die somehow? One of the things that I've realized here, just right now, is that playing as Totek with the shield is gonna be, would have been completely different style of gameplay. Because he wouldn't have had the grapple at all. So he wouldn't have been able to climb. He would have had to rely on either Lara Croft's assistance.
2,000 years in this prison. Now I will bathe in your blood.
We gotta catch him!
If we split up, we can flank him.
Son of a... Here, take this. Okay, when I get my hands on him, I want you to stay back.
Take it easy, Lynch. I still want my money.
You'll get your money.
These two guys look horrible. I think that's part of the joke, is that they are just horrible. Anyways, so I'm just gonna speed run. I know I've said this was supposed to be a speed run, but so far it really hasn't been. You need the regular spear to climb up, though. That is one thing that the spear. So Lara Croft goes, this thing is healing me. He just says a cuss word. I always think it's funny when they're bleeped. If it wasn't bleeped, I'd probably get kind of tired of it. So, if you're wondering how I got all the high scores, for a lot of levels it's not as hard as it seems, but for some of the levels you really cannot die or get hit at all. For instance, the first time when you were chased by the giant salamander, I think there was only one time in the main game, you have to get a maximum on your thing just instantly, as soon as possible, to get triple points when you kill something. So you have to have a full energy bar, and you practically can't get hit at all. Even one hit will knock your energy bar down to 0. So now I'm at full energy is what I'm talking about. And see how it just triples the score there when I am at full energy. You have to get that to the maximum as soon as possible. One of the levels I even left these gems alone and didn't pick them up until I was at full energy, just so I knew I was getting as high of points as possible from that, which might have been the wrong decision, but it worked. So you have to do that, not get hit at all, and you have to not die, because every time you die you lose about 10,000 points. In some games, some levels, yes, it would be fine if you took a couple of deaths and you'd still be able to get a very high score, but high enough to reach the goal. But some levels, no. Even one death, like the big salamander, even one death there is practically, you might as well just restart the level. So it's not as balanced as I thought it was, as I think they thought it was. I pretty much could figure it couldn't possibly have been so balanced for what they were asking for. Getting this in 30 seconds is way easier. You can see he has the lines coming up from him because my energy bar is full. So, you don't want to do that, first of all. But, I often had this problem trying to get this. To get this done in 30 seconds, you have to roll, which is why I couldn't get it done. This is pretty much one of two specific puzzles that they require you to be able to roll. And if you don't, you're not going to get it done. So you do this. If you're really lucky, this will land right on them. But I wasn't that lucky, so it still wasn't blowing. It didn't. So you might have to try that a couple times to get 30 seconds. Obviously I didn't get that done in 30 seconds. It took me quite a few tries. but not a ridiculously high amount of tries. And there certainly were other things that did take longer.
An impressive specimen. You will serve me well.
Shut the up!
And I will make a robe of that fine, pale skin.
Well, let's see about that.
After having heard him say the same phrase over and over again, it's kind of funny to get different responses that are just clearly different. Alright, there was the one hit that was knocked out my energy bar. And you can see it takes quite a few more hits to get it. Now with the Sphere of Light, it does take a considerable amount of ammunition. So if you don't have a fully recharged energy bar with the Maska's ulti recharging your ammunition, you probably couldn't use it very much. But as long as you don't take hits and have the fully recharged energy bar, it just refills by itself fine. Or mostly fine. I suppose it takes it a little while. These guys are still dangerous because they can damage you. I don't believe there were any cutscenes for walking into any puzzle areas. And now that I've unlocked all the things, there's no reason to. So, I don't know if we're gonna make it to the first boss fight in this recording. It may just be a little bit longer than 45 minutes. I'm still trying to shoot for something like that. Gotta change my spear here back to the regular one. You can get up this actually rather fast once you know what to do. So, reach the exit in 6 minutes or less. If I was really trying hard, I obviously did do that. And scores nowhere close to even the 100,000 points. So you're gonna have to play the game each level at least 3 times, I would suspect. A first time to get a lay of the land, a second time to try and get the score as high as possible, and a third time to get it done very fast. Of all the pickups here, they're helpful at the beginning of the game, not really going to be helpful at the end because they're not the Jade Heart, they're not the Maska's ulti, they're not the Spear of Light. The ammo and health upgrades are kind of cool, but they don't get used very well in this game at all. So now level 2, we may only go through like level 3 and start on the other one. Let's see what he says here.
This place is big.
This place is big. And he doesn't say anything, so I wonder, is this the beginning of the end of them even bothering to voice things? Alright. So this level in particular is more of a just, it needs to be run through fast versus taking damage. Or not taking damage.
They should be here. They should all have been here.
I can't help but to think that maybe they just took audio from the Kane and Lynch series and cut and pasted it here from that phrase. Is that what they did? If that's what they did, that's pretty genius. I'm not gonna hold it against them. I mean, how many video games could you do that? It should be worth mentioning that Eidos Montreal made Lara Croft Go. So either that studio is really big, or there's something questionable about that, because Eidos Montreal was supposed to be making JX Human Revolution, and they did make it, so how did they... Either they're really big and they can make two games close to the same time, or one of those they didn't focus on enough. We won't know until Deus Ex Mankind Divided comes out. Lara Croft Go was pretty short, so we could already say maybe they weren't too focused on that. I would still play Lara Croft Go. The review I read said it was a fine game. It was just really short, being a cell phone game, and isn't that always the problem? So I don't see a reason to like roll over here and try to check out these extra locations. I just think that that would be a waste of time. So we're effectively looking for the, is there a cutscene at the beginning of the level? Is there a cutscene in the middle? Is there a cutscene at the end? And does he say anything at all? So far he really hasn't said anything at all except for one phrase. This is a good just showing how you would run through these levels if it was slightly difficult for people to realize. There are a couple tricks here and there that would speed up your thing. Like going through this is definitely quicker than going to the section from the other entrance and then trying to get it. Coming back. If any of that makes sense. If you come in through this exit and try to get the collectible, it will take you longer because you end up backtracking. Pretty easy to get this final seal when you know you can roll. The game actually becomes incredibly easier when you can roll. I thought they were just making it difficult on me. Turns out they were, in the sense that they didn't ever tell me that to roll. There was never a puzzle where it specifically said roll. Even when she was saying run, the phrase was run. I was hoping the shotgun would get a better shot there and take them all out in one shot. So there's a lot of collectibles here. One collectible, a health up, is actually right under the broken bridge. Not the bridge that we ran across, but the bridge that is actually over the river. So when you're crossing the river, there's this beginning of a bridge, and on the other side is the ending of the bridge, and there's nothing in the middle. If you go right under the beginning of the bridge, there is a health thing just out of view, and it was rather frustrating trying to find that. Usually everything else is in view, you see it, so it's not like it's hidden. I can't tell you how many times I've done the spider tomb. So the golden shotgun's pretty useful here. Once I get the full power up. One thing that's kind of interesting, you get this little secret thing where more spiders show up. And they don't come back the second time you pull this. And it saves that, so if you happen to die right here, you wouldn't have to sit there and fight more spiders. So, what you're seeing here is I'm having trouble maintaining ammo because all my weapons do take a considerable amount of ammo, and because I don't have the full energy mass resulty effect going on, it's not refilling. It does make a lot of ah and screams and things. I need my regular guns, so if you can disable your regular handguns and put a third weapon, but I wouldn't recommend it. So as soon as I get a chance to change my weapon. I was gonna go with the shotgun, and then I got hit again. And not only does that ruin any chance of get a hole in one. Nope. One of the tricks to getting a hole in one for that is keep the ball rolling. You might still get it. So if you blow it up and then the ball is still somewhat moving, take another mine to it and see if it'll still give you the achievement, because I kind of cheated that way. There we go. So even the golden shotgun's not super useful here. Alright. So to get one of the items, you actually have to run all the way back to where I'm standing here, but one floor up. After a certain point, which I'll tell you when we get there. And so you run the whole length of the game, and it will allow for you to get that final artifact, which effectively this gave me the full achievement. Now, I may not do this, but I do want to try and show you how to open this. There's a very specific way you have to go, and I just screwed it up terribly. Let's see. You have to start up here. You have to go here. You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this. I screwed that up too. And the game crashed. Which is fair enough, I think. No, it's not fair that the game crashed, but this is one place where it definitely did crash a lot. A problem occurred with your display driver. If it's really that they're gonna claim my video card is crashing, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second, but maybe. I mean, that has certainly happened before. Anywho, that's gonna be where we end this recording. Oddly enough, we will start back up just where we are at. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.